You've been accepted into the guild at this point. You're now part of the Frontiersmen, which is what the guild is called. And it wasn't the best initiation. Things could have went better.
It could have went worse though.
It could have went worse. You could be dead, but it could have
I
went
could
better.
I could have set myself on fire.
Yeah, more
Yeah,
like
you
could
could
have
have.
burnt a whole fucking mining town down.
Oh, glad.
Lad,
I've been...
do you understand how the fire of London started?
Oh, I do. Yeah, but that was in like in 12
Yeah,
whatever
Kyle,
12.
because everything's made of wood, wood
I
and
blame
thatch houses.
I blame the bakery that started the fire. It was
all their fault.
all their fault. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
But now that you've been accepted into the guild itself, you take maybe a day or two. Just well, how long would you want to wait before you really want to go out and do something? Do you want to just go out straight away and see if there's any jobs you can get, or like wait a day or two before trying to do something?
I, I mean, it feels like a cunt. I were initiated right, we're off. I think that's a bit of a dick move,
No, but I
but
mean like, do you want to try and do something straight away, or do you just want to wait a bit to see what comes up, and then like adventure out of the cave? Because you're like members now, you're free to do whatever you want, but you also have the opportunity to take like contracts that you will have to
well,
fulfill.
I'd say either take a contract or wait for something to come up, more or less. I mean, I'd be down for a contract. Let's just do something.
Can we take contracts from the guild people?
If there are contracts,
Go to the board.
no, that's not the way it works. It's kind of like if they
Oh,
think you're ready for the specific contract, they will ask you about doing it.
Uh,
So they kind of gauge the skill level they think you're at, and if they think you can successfully do it, and then they will come to you about completing it.
joke's on you! I'm gonna
okay.
steal the skeleton
Um.
key and steal our money.
But you could inquire about contracts and then see if they bring it up, and maybe you can wiggle your way into getting that contract.
Hmm.
For some reason, the name generator thing I was using is not working, and I cannot generate names for people that I need to name.
Rather
Oh, there,
unfortunate.
that's working. Yes. Yes! Generate a name. I need names. There we go. I have names. Okay. So, how do you want to proceed?
Uh.
Let's get a contract.
Realistically, this is where me and Carrick would probably part ways, but I mean.
Well, you're kind of stuck in this shit together.
Carrick, I think we should look about
People say it's a
look
bad
about
day
a
to leave.
contract that we can actually, successfully and professionally complete this time
Without murdering too many people. Yeah.
to gain favor in the guild.
So, a good way I would put it for why you should stay together is neither of you can be fully sure that you really trust the other person
Not to
with
rat
your
them out.
life. Yeah. So it would kind of be like, at this point, you're kind of wanting to keep an eye on each other. So, like,
It's like
if you,
if I go down, you go down.
yeah, like if you split up and say Carrick got caught, he could make a deal and rat you out so you take all the blame and get hung. Or the other way around. And you don't really know what's going to happen here. So, sticking together is the best for both of you because you're
Okay.
less likely to get caught because you got
Wait a
those
minute,
two pairs of eyes.
Andrew. I am gonna ask a question here.
Yes.
What way does poison work? 'Cause
Depending on
let's say I
the
have an let's say I have
this,
an arrow and then dip it in poison and then yoink it in the enemy and it sticks in him.
depending on the strength of the poison, they will have to make a saving throw against it.
Ooh.
If they pass, they take no damage. If they fail, they either take just one hit of damage on that turn and that's it, or depending on the type of poison, it could be like for 6 turns they take damage. Just depends like what type of poison you're getting.
Should have got me some poison.
Well, you are in the center of roguery in the area, so you never know
Yes,
what you might find.
I will probably want to acquire some poison just for to try it out.
Do you want to
Maybe even
inquire about
Did-
that before you?
yes.
Okay.
I am now a
Um,
ranger, so I would like to use my bow at one point.
Yeah, you probably should use your bow at some point. So,
You don't always have to get the hands dirty from up close and personal.
asking around about like poisons and supplies, just with the few people that are around the cave area of the guild, you find out that it's the the small, plump, fat man that was in like the meeting you had with the leader. He
Oh
pretty
shit,
much
right, okay.
handles all of the like supplies and trade of the guild. That's like his entire job. So if you want something, you go to him. If you bring something back you want to get rid of, you go to him. He is like the main man. And his name is going to be, because I don't have a name yet, if my generator thing would load a name for me. Come on,
We'll call him Jim.
hold on. Just need to wait for it.
Jim Savile.
Okay, here we
Yes.
go. His name is going to be
Jim.
Damien Potts. That's a good
Oh
name.
my god, I am not gonna remember that shit at all.
Don't worry,
D.
I
I'm just gonna call him D.
will write it down in the notable people, so you can always look it up. So he's like pretty
I
much
should have a
the
list.
steward.
I should remember the name of.
Well, there is a notable people section that you could look at for most of the people you know, or would know of.
Where the hell's that?
Above your character
My
sheets.
God, Macaulay.
What?
Like, where your character sheets are, there's
Right.
the players
Pick
section,
your character sheet is.
and
Yeah.
then there's like some other things.
Kingdom of Ashnor. Click that down. If it's not open already. Then Town of Medford, and then it's like town
Oh,
description.
notable people.
Notable
Yes.
people.
Mm.
So these are like the important people, and then there's the important locations as well. Since you have been in the town for a while, you
Flynn
would
Larson's
probably...
highlighted in red. Oh shit, he did.
Yeah, because he did. He did. I'm trying to look up
For
poisons.
now.
Resurrects as a zombie.
We don't know what way the spoilers are gonna go.
That is true. We do not.
Harley Riggs. Harley, what a name. Is that
Yes,
randomly generated?
most of them are randomly generated names.
So,
Pretty much all of them.
Harley's a pretty cool name.
Okay, so you're inquiring about poison.
Poison.
So you eventually find Mr. Damien Potts. He's
Damien.
in the like kind of general storage area of the guild, and you go up to him at his wee desk where he's got his notes and ledgers, and it seems like you spoke him. He's like, "Horrible! Oh, you're the new fellow. What can I do for you today?
Oh,
You need,
Damien,
need
sorry,
supplies? Or want to sell
Uh,
something? Add to the guild's
no.
resources?"
give me your beard, Harold, man.
No, this is my beard hair. I worked very long and hard to grow this over my entire lifetime. I'm very proud of my beard.
Sorry, Damien. Didn't mean to disturb you, but
Look at Macaulay being all polite.
yeah, I know.
Needs
I'm
to get a
polite
good
cunt.
deal.
I'm a polite cunt in real life, so most of the time. Um, does the guild deal in poisons?
There is a loud bellowing laugh from this quite round fat man. He's like, well, of course we deal in poisons, my young boy.
Well,
In a place of roguery like this, what would you expect?
all right, okay.
Do you need
Uh,
what type of poison are you looking for?
See, I don't really know what any of them do,
The
so
strangler.
Like what kind of effect are you looking for?
just overall damage.
Severe diarrhea.
Paralysis would be funny, but I am assuming that's expensive.
So what I'm gathering is you just want a poison that kills people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So judging by your general attire, and just having joined the guild, I'll quote you the lower price range that is for a very basic poison. Is normally on the black market 100 gold pieces, but as a new initiate of the guild, you will get a slight discount on the price. And I'll maybe drop it to about 85, 85 gold.
Yeah, I can't afford that right now, so maybe
Does
I'll
it
come back to
poison?
you.
Does it poison the people for me for that price?
Oh, if you want the poison that does that, that would be up in the thousands of gold. That is the very expensive and hard to make shit with some extremely rare herbs from the other side of the world. You can't tell if he's serious or if he's joking. Neither of you know about poison.
Nope. Well, I can't afford that shit, so I will return when I have
No,
enough money
this
to
is a
buy.
businessman. He's not the kind of guy that's gonna like lie to you about the price of his wares.
Especially because we're
Especially
part of the guild.
because
Yeah.
he has wares if you have coin. You know.
I'm gonna see if there's actually like a list of different poisons. See if there's any that are cheaper.
I
It
did
just
not
says
think
that
they would be
like
that
basic
expensive.
poisons are 100 gold.
One's
Jeez.
gone for one poison vial.
Let's see. Ah, poisons. Oh dear God.
Probably a lot more expensive.
Oh yeah. There's actually different names for them as well. Most expensive one on this list is 2,000.
Jesus.
Damn. Though I could make my own and roughly price them. Or if you learned some alchemy, you could make your own poisons. But anyhow. Yeah. It's like, well, you'll eventually get to the point where you have the funds and assets required to acquire the poisons that you need. And I'll always be here. We're always open for business. Buying, selling, fencing, whatever you can think of. The guild is here.
It's good
And
to know.
he goes back to his documents, like tallying up gold income, like loans going out. Now, what would you like to do next?
Contract.
Yes. Ask about contract.
Is there anyone you want to specifically look for to ask about that?
Saying that we're talking to your guy, Damien, we might as well ask him.
So, what do you actually ask him?
Damien, do you know of any contracts that are going about at the moment for the guild?
Already looking to make your way in the world, I see. Stand up straight, two of you, side by side. I will need to inspect you both. Yeah, starts sluggishly, walking in a circle around you. Pulls out like a wee walking stick and starts like poking you. As he walks out, like, I think I might have one contract contract that you could participate in. There's already a couple other members that are also interested in completing this specific contract, but I think as a group of four, you probably would do well enough to ensure it's carried through. It doesn't seem like too hard a job. Pretty much, there's some trouble up at the lumber mill. Mr. Hansen seems to be having problems with his workers going missing in the woods and wants to get to the bottom of it. And he is one of our very well-paying clients, might I add. So it's kind of our obligation to do good in our protection money and try and help. And if there's the occasion, maybe try and make some extra income on the side without being spotted, if you catch my meaning.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so if you want, I'll go write up the contract and get you both to sign your names and gather the other two members that were interested, and you could set it on your way. Shouldn't be too difficult.
It's a bear.
Might get you enough money for one of the poisons. Could be a
Good to
way
know.
make the money.
Thank you, Jason. Lead the way.
As he walks walks through the winding tunnels and caves to the room of the leader of the guild, Miss Selma Holt, knocks on the door, steps inside. You can hear a brief discussion, and then it comes out with a sheet of parchment with it just got some basic writing about what the contract is. So reading over it, you gather that Mr. Woodrow Hansen at the lumber mill is paying the guild protection money to keep his business and business interests safe from all threats, like internal and external. So pretty much he's paying them a cut to not fuck his shit up and not let anyone else fuck his shit up. But people are going missing, which is fucking his shit up. And he is essentially calling in the protection aspect of people are fucking my shit up and you said this wasn't gonna happen, so fucking fix it.
Yeah.
It's a Balrog.
And there's not really much information that is known about what's happening. It's only been going on the last couple days. So you would have to go find him at either his residence in town or the lumber mill, find out more information, and then discover the source of the problem and or solve it, with the side mission of possibly making some extra income without getting
What's
spotted.
the side mission for again? Sorry.
Like, you see something valuable that doesn't belong to you, and you just kind of take it and bring it back to the guild.
Okay.
So if you spot some really valuable stuff in the lumber yard and can get away with stealing it, then fucking steal it.
You see, the problem is I'll probably not give it to the guild if I steal it because I need it more than.
That is up to you. Depends who sees you stealing it. That's part of your group.
Okay. Yeah.
So
that's
as
fine.
you're reading through this basic contract, giving you kind of some, it's a kind of formal thing of, oh yes, we're gonna go do this, and whatever the reward he pays, there's no set reward right now. The reward that it's gonna be kind of based off how difficult things turn out to be. So if it turned out to be nothing other than the miners just going off, getting drunk and falling asleep in the woods, then you wouldn't really get that much money because you didn't risk your lives. But if for some reason there was an adult red dragon that was eating the miners, you would get paid some heavy compensation for risking your lives. So
Who are we paid by? Are we paid by the
this would be
lumber mill,
this would
or
be
are
the
we
guild
paid by the
paying you.
guild? Okay,
The lumber mill's paying the guild for
yeah, he's sort of
protection,
paying the guild. Yeah.
and then they're using that protection money to pay you to like carry out like what they have to do. Though you'll only get paid like after it's solved, with like confirmation from Mr. Hansen that the issue has been solved. So pretty much needs to be like proof that it's done that you can bring back. There's like some little lines on the bottom where you would write your names, and then one at the bottom where he would write his name whenever the contract is complete. So, would you like to accept this contract to investigate the occurrences at the lumberyard?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Like, marvelous, marvelous. I will call the other two that were interested. And he bellows out across the keys. Matthias! Talia! Get your asses over here! I've got two of the new recruits that want to join you on the most recent contract for the lumberyard. And you see two figures enter into the kind of bed area from the dining part where all the like food supplies are and where people eat. First enters who you would assume is Matthias. He is a human male. You can't really gather much about him. He's just average height human male, black hair, cleanly shaven, wearing some extremely battered and scarred leather armor. And then after him enters Talia, who is a shorter than average half-elf female with long flowing blonde hair.
What color are her eyes?
She has green eyes.
Aryan? Oh fuck.
I need to write this down so I can remember these people.
What's her name again?
Talia.
Pretty
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Don't I have like a blue eye and
Yeah, you've got different colored eyes.
I've got a blue eye and a purple eye. I'm pretty sure.
How the hell do you manage that?
Oh, you can pick whatever you want.
Okay, fair enough.
It's a birth defect. I don't like talking about it.
Yeah, you just like haven't noticed this at all. Because like you haven't really been like locking eye contact that much.
No, we've been busy slitting throats and trying to burn houses down.
Big face
So-
stuff, nigga.
As they start to approach closer, you can tell that Matthias is carrying an axe to his side, and on his back he has a shield. So he seems to be
He's
more
a
of a
one-hitter.
direct approach kind of person than necessarily doing lots of sneaking about. He looks like he could sneak, but he'd rather not. He'd just bash some faces in and get answers that way.
Is there who is assigned as the leader of
That you do not know yet.
oh,
Whenever I finish writing down these people's basic things to re-describe them if I need to, I will work that out. And you can tell that Talia is... She
What
doesn't...
was Kalia?
Talia, like with a T.
Talia.
okay.
like from the Hobbit?
Oh,
So-
yeah.
She doesn't
Well, actually,
visibly...
it's Tyrell.
She doesn't visibly have any melee weapons that you can see, but she does have a finely crafted longbow.
God damn it. She's
That's
better
good.
than me.
If they die, Macaulay, you could take it.
Yeah, I mean, I need that bow more than her, so.
So as they both approach, enter in, you can see them both starting to size you two up and down.
Are these
Matthias,
two?
gives a grunt like, ugh,
Mhm.
so we're stuck with the newbies. Great. Always stuck with the newbies. Talia gives him a playful punch in the shoulder, like, ah, oh, come on, Matthias. It'll be fun. We're just going to the lumber yard again. He seems to have a lot of problems over there. Never mind. It'll be fun. Come on. These two have obviously been on quite a few missions together.
So they're well experienced.
Yes, they're quite experienced.
They used to fuck.
So, roll some insight to see what you think on this matter.
For fuck's sake.
So, do you think? Well, Barrick thinks there is a possibility that they might have. Carrick is like, nah, that wouldn't have happened. Like she's being playful with him more to like bully him because she knows he fucking hates it. They don't really like each other, but they've been on missions together. So, as they approach
Ow.
Sarcasm.
Mr. Hansen, it's like, the group is assembled. So, we do have the matter of...
You shall be the fellowship of the lumberyard.
We do have the matter of who will be taking charge of this venture. I personally, myself, believe that the newbies, as you so eloquently called them, Matthias, should get the chance to prove themselves and make a joint effort to lead this mission as their first steps in the guild.
I'm sure he's overjoyed.
Oh, you can see the dagger eyes, like he's pissed. He doesn't like this idea, but he's not gonna defy the old man. Not right away, anyway. But is there anything you would like to ask or say at this point? Either of you?
Right. Daylights are burning. Let's move. Before we go, Damien, any more information that we need to know before leaving? Like what type of fellow is this lumberyard owner?
Mr. Hansen. He's a very proud and proper kind of man. Wants to act like he's nobility, but isn't highborn himself.
Oh god.
So someone that lives in Medford that's got a shoe up his ass.
In a manner of speaking,
more
yes.
coin than the street urchins that live on the street.
Essentially, he's got a stick up his ass. Is a good way of putting it.
Burn his house down now.
You mutter this under your breath, but nobody really pays attention to it.
I slightly hear it. Elbow Carrick.
But yeah, it's just try not to say anything like too insulting to the man. Just be in good behavior if you can.
I should have put arsonist on my character description.
But
We're going to a lumber mill. This is a terrible decision.
But you are right. Daylight is burning, and you should all move out so you can get there in the next couple of days to find out what the problem is.
Yes.
Talia seems really, really excited about going on another contract. Like, oh, goody! This is gonna be so fun. We're gonna cook s'mores at the campfire. Oh, this is gonna be lovely.
She has so much sarcasm. It's
No, she seems genuinely like
it's
enthusiastic.
genuine.
Yeah, like she's really excited. This is why Matthias fucking hates her guts, because they're like complete opposites. You can just see him like Fucking kill me, please.
Okay, right.
If I don't, she was
So
gonna want to do this fucking contract. I wouldn't have signed up.
you
But
can
I
always
already
opt
did.
out.
I need the fucking money.
Means you only have to split it 3 ways.
I need that fucking money.
Well then, hurry up then.
Okay, so let's see. He is gonna be the dark and gloomy one. That's literally gonna be his character description. She's gonna
Be
be
the what?
like I'm writing down like Matthias's is like his prompt, so I know how he's gonna act, which is dark and gloomy. Fucking
He's an
dagger,
emo.
pretty much.
It's essentially an emo, and then she's essentially
Like a hyper happy 6-year-old on
yeah.
Sugar Rush.
God.
She probably doesn't
Then
get out.
which-
Can't wait
which-
to hear a comment. Oh yes, I get to kill people.
Okay, so
Look at his head. I decapitated him.
oh, we'll
Maybe-
see.
Ah.
We'll see what happens.
What you
But
said is she's like no filter. Just says everything.
yeah, that will be one way of putting it.
Oh god.
So you're ready to leave? Is there anything you'd like to do before leaving the cube?
Talia, right?
Oh yes. Both
Uh,
look so wonderful. You're gonna enjoy it here in the guild, like so much. I know I do. It's a wonderful place.
That is
you've been
way
to
too
the
much
lumber
enthusiasm.
mill before.
Oh yes, we've been there many times, me and Matthias. Such great memories of all those contracts. Matthias, remember that one time you like accidentally killed that miner and then there was a witch hunt for you and he's just like, just fucking shut up. Just shut up.
Got
Don't
got eaten
remind
by
me.
a bear.
It's not my fault. There's
Well,
there.
Talia, since you have traveled there, I will appoint you as
Chief
Uh,
navigator.
chief navigator for this operation.
Oh, I always love getting to navigate. It's my favorite part.
This is actually on day, man.
Good.
see if I don't slap her by the time we get back. Just freaking murder.
Okay.
So at this point, she's already started to like prance or what, like, kind of almost skip
Is
her
she
way out of the
skipping?
cube.
Oh, what?
Pretty much. Just like skipping her way out.
Fuck.
Matthias is like sitting there, like, okay, let's make a deal. That when it gets bad, we all kill each other. Okay?
Fuck.
Let's end our suffering. Because I can't fucking deal with her.
Oh, okay.
So I'll kill you, you kill him, and he kills me.
Wait, what?
And
How
let's
does
just
that
fucking
work?
go. Just don't question it, let's just fucking go. Before I am so done
Who
with this
goes
shit, I
first?
either kill her or I kill myself. Let's just go.
Look, if we're gonna attack a bear, you go first.
You know, I fucked a bear once.
I'm gonna hit this trip. And he just walks out after me.
I actually
This is
might
gonna be a
shoot
cakewalk.
Talia,
Okay,
like
so
in the leg.
I'm gonna draw some
Before we
things
get
on
there.
the map that you can hopefully see. So I'm gonna put a dot. So the dot I'm putting on now is like where the mine
The mine was, yes.
was. The hideout itself is somewhere like around here, in like the more northerly direction, in the base of
Okay,
the mountains.
okay.
The lumber yard is out in like this direction down
Okay.
here, like in the denser part of the woods to the south.
Okay,
30
so it's
miles.
like a day's travel if you're going real
Cross country.
fast. Yeah, so probably 2 days travel. Actually, wait. Probably gonna have to go this way.
If you wanted to go by the roads, you'd have to go to the town and then to the lumber mill, or you could go cross country. But are you exiting the cube?
Oh, we're dead
Yes.
ass leaving. We're dead ass leaving.
Talia, what is your
Well,
thoughts on the best way to travel to the
before we start, does anyone need anything in town? So I can plot the best course.
Um,
No, I'm good.
no, I'm pretty well geared.
Then let's just go straight there. We've made this trip so many times. I remember the first time when Matthias led and he got us lost. So fun.
Um,
He's definitely
I
regretting
am
his
very
choice.
much doubting Tally's ability to navigate at this point. I'm just gonna just
Becoming a
look at her.
new ranger, you can tell that she is a ranger.
Hard.
No, she's a ranger. Like
She's a ranger. Oh, okay.
yeah, like they both are partly rogue, and they're pretty much like you, a rogue fighter and a rogue ranger.
Carl, you're
That's
not getting
essentially what they are.
jealous that a half elf is in the party that actually might be able to do something right for once.
They're like, okay, party, claps, let's go to the south, and she just
I'm gonna,
starts at a
know
pretty
what?
fast jog. She just starts running off into the forest.
I'm
You know
gonna have
what?
to shoot her.
I might take that back. There's bears in these woods, right?
Oh, we won't run into any bears. If we do, I'll just fucking murder them. It's fine.
That much enthusiasm
By
about
the,
murdering
by
a
the
bear.
gods.
So she just starts you in a straight south run, like that,
Okay.
at a good running pace. Like you actually roll some athletics checks to see how well you keep up.
Yes.
Oh,
Breathe.
Ooh,
That's the
nice.
key.
Let me check how
Better-
well.
breathe through
Oh.
those nostrils.
You can tell Matthias is having none of this, and he's purposely walking behind really slowly to slow the progress.
Fucking let the wolves have him.
But, you know, Talia and her good nature, she's like jogging forward, looking back, like, oh, Matthias is getting left behind, and then she like jogs back to him, and then jogs forward, then jogs back to try and get on this speed.
Jesus, her work rate is ridiculous.
She's like a 6-year-old kid on a fucking
Hey,
biggest sugar
Matthias.
rush ever.
Matthias.
Like, what?
Think about it this way. Faster you run, the sooner this is over.
Roll some persuasion. See how
Sooner you
persuasive
start,
you are.
sooner
for
you
him.
finish. Rolls a 1. Oh,
He ponders this for a second and goes, I was thinking if I walked slow enough, I would get eaten by bears. But not dying is also a good option. And then he starts keeping pace with the group.
yay.
Good.
As you're making your travel through the forests, you can quite easily tell that Talia is quite adept at this mode of transport through the forests. She's like picking all the best paths, easily like hopping over like fallen trees, rocks, branches, not really making that much noise at all. Roll some perception though to see what kind of stuff you
Oh,
see.
there's an actual one. Get that out of the way.
Okay, so as
Alright, rolling.
perception. Okay, so as you're running through the woods, trying to keep up with Talia, you suddenly don't see her anymore.
Fuck.
Great. With Nathan still beside us?
Matthias is a
Or-
little bit behind you.
Matthias. Talia!
You hear this muffled shh,
What?
like a shish,
Okay.
but you can't tell where it's from. Matthias
Well,
walks up to you, he's like,
something.
ugh. She's in her fucking hunter mode again.
She does this a lot, I imagine.
Yeah, normally she's right though. I'll give her that. And he unhooks his
So-
shield on his axe. Like, I would get ready. Where there's probably something. She knows
It's
what
a
she's
mouse.
doing.
Draw a bow.
Draw both swords.
Roll one more. Roll an investigation check this time.
A
Okay,
six?
so
Really?
Carrick is too busy looking for Talia, while Beric looks down and sees that there is some, like, the ground is being disturbed by something that has moved this way. But you can't tell what it is, and you still cannot see where Talia has went. And you begin to hear like a low guttural growl coming from the throat of some sort of beast. Not sure what it is. It's like
It's that fox from earlier on.
no, this is bigger than a fox.
Oh, Kark, look, it's your mother.
Haha. So original.
So as okay, this is good enough. So while you're looking around, kind of brownish grey shape jumps out at Beric from the undergrowth. Still unsure what it is, but as it pounces out, seemingly from nowhere, an arrow just strikes it in the throat. Oh god, that is a lot of damage.
Insta kills it.
More like shoots the arrow at it, pins it to the fucking tree.
Well,
It's like
Like,
that rabbit in
so,
The Last of Us, you know.
as
the-
you hear
the-
this
the
growl
arrow
and you
just-
turn around to look at the bushes, you see pretty much a mountain lion jump out of the bush for you, and then mid-air, an arrow just streaks through its throat, just embeds itself into the ground, and the mountain lion slumps down at your feet dead.
What a tramp.
Mazel tov!
And then, landing lightly beside you, is Talia, who has dropped down from one of the treetops that she had climbed up into. She was very perceptive and stealthy, and was the only one who
Very
actually
sharp.
spotted the mountain lion creeping
So
up on you.
glad I could be your bait, Talia.
Oh, I know. I'm just such a good shot.
Oh god, not only is she freaking
I'd hate to be
enthusiastic,
around the
she's
day you
fucking-
missed.
Oh, I don't miss that much. Oh, and I do
Isn't it?
miss. I miss in style. And she continues on the journey side.
skips along with
Oh yeah.
listening to Legolas. Or being Legolas.
So is there anything you'd like to
Thank
do on your journey? At the pace she's setting, you will get to the lumber mine by the end of the day, or the lumber yard by the end of the day.
Yeah, just keep her pace.
Anything you want to say or talk about along the journey to each other or your new traveling companions?
So, Talia, how did you end up joining the guild?
Oh, I ran into some trouble, kind of the way everybody ends up here. Doing stuff you really shouldn't be doing, fleeing to the edge of the world to hide from it. Probably because you might have killed some people that want you dead. You know, the normal stuff.
Standard run of the mill,
Yeah.
How it goes.
Yeah, this guy gets it.
Yes, I find
Preach
you
it.
and Carrick probably have a lot in common.
Preach it, sister,
Anything else you want
It,
to talk about
it-
before you reach the lumberyard?
it must be a pastime for half-elves to kill people that they're not supposed to.
What can I say? Nobody's perfect.
You're a perfect match for each other.
Oh, really? That's so cute.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
I'm just gonna stare at her, just go, yep.
Oh, she's not even looking back. She's just like
Oh,
leading the group, not looking back at you as she talks.
fucking. Imagine,
She could be
imagine
talking to
not.
the wind. I think she's the type of person that talks to the wind as she travels alone.
Imagine
Probably.
marrying a woman with no filter, like, that.
So like during this, like Matthias isn't saying anything the whole travel.
Matthias,
He grunts in response.
I've heard more cheers from graveyards.
I like graveyards. They don't fucking talk.
Good
Quiet type then.
God. Who hurt you, Matthias?
The world. The world fucking did. Alright, let's just get this job over with. I'm already sick of this. Let's just go. I'm done.
Fine. Since you're being so talkative, we'll keep moving.
So, for the remainder of the day, you keep up this pretty quick pace, aided by the navigation of Talia to help you reach the lumberyard as the sun is starting to get lower in the sky. Not quite dark yet, but getting there. And like as you start to see the trees thin and more like tree stumps appear, you then break through the tree line. And she's like, "Here we are. We made it to the lumberyard." I'm so great at navigating. I love my job.
Well done, Talia.
10 points to
Suppose-
Gryffindor.
What's this Gryffindor you speak of? Is that some sort of like
Oh, it's
a
a
creature? Like,
it's a lovely school that
were they
Karen
trained
went to.
griffins? Oh my
Uh,
god.
He
That's-
can tell you all about it, and I'm gonna go speak to the lumberyard owner. So you can sit here. Make sure that have you written down notable people? No, you haven't. Shit.
Do you want their names?
Yeah.
Matthias and Talia.
Make sure Matthias doesn't cut his own wrist while I'm away.
Don't count on it.
You're so full of it.
Right. I walk into the lumberyard. Obviously, it's near nighttime, so is there
There's a few torches that are lit on the sides
is
of the
there
buildings.
anyone about out by the campfires or anything?
There's a couple workers carrying around planks, a few groups moving larger logs. Looks like they're getting everything stored away and packed up for the night.
I'll go talk to one of the closest workers.
So the first worker you get to, he's carrying some planks over his shoulder into a warehouse. And as you approach, he gives you a kind of confused look. He hasn't seen you here before. Like, who are you?
Hello,
Fine.
good sir. I'm here to talk to Hansen. Is he around?
Yeah, he's over at the quartermaster's house, currently inspecting the stock and the losses. What do you need to speak
Can
to him
you
for?
point me in the right direction? No,
Oh,
haven't been here
it's
before.
just the biggest house, over closest to the sawmill.
That one over there.
Oh yeah. The big, the large two-story house.
Oh, thank you.
It's pretty easy
Good
to
day.
find. He nods, but still looks really confused.
Right. Come on, my merry gang of individuals. Let's go see Hansen.
Well, as if like went back to like get them, you see just like Matthias is just kind of Looks like he's
Confused
almost
as
hitting
we
his
can
head
be.
into like sideways into the tree he's sitting against as Talia is talking about some long tale recounting their history of some contract they've been on. But he quickly gets up and heads your direction when he sees you coming, just to get away from her.
Oh my god.
So, who did you talk to? What did you find out? I want to kill something already. Like, what are we doing?
We're gonna go talk to Henson. Maybe he can tell us what the problem is. And he'll maybe even give us somewhere to lodge for the night, and then we can get to work in the morning.
Thank God. Ah, finally. Some peace and quiet from that blasted woman. He starts heading in the direction of the two-story house. As that's like conversations going on, Talia is continuing to recount her tale to Carrick of how
I just walk off.
of how
Before you
Matthias
even start.
was once scared by a bear cub.
She was once scared by a
How
bear cub?
how Matthias was once scared by a bear
Mhm.
cub. He thought it was like a fully grown brown bear. Like oh my god, how's he that stupid?
I will respond to this in any other way any normal person would. Yes.
Oh yes, this nod, like the nod. Yes,
Yes.
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 She doesn't seem to be even like paying attention to your response.
Exactly.
But it doesn't take too long until like just like a minute or two's walk, you've reached the two-story house. You do hear loud voices from inside.
Knock on the door.
There's no response to your
Knock on the door louder.
There is still no response. It seems to be a heated discussion that is going underway. You can't make out
Oh,
words.
Just walk in.
As you go to step in, like Matthias attempts to like grab your shoulder before you step in, but he's too slow to stop you. And as you push open the door and walk in, this argument goes on a bit, and you can hear like one of the men in the room being like, "But we can't keep losing workers. We need more. And if we keep fucking losing them going out into the woods, we're not gonna have any more workers left. And then we need to pay their goddamn widows. So what do you want to fucking do? Let them all die? We need to do something, and we need to do it now." And then they both like look around and see you. And the other man is like, "And who, might I ask, is this intruding on our business?"
Which one of you is Henson?
"That would be I. And I would like you to answer my question now, sir. Who is this intruding on our business in our place of work without invitation?"
Well, we are a merry band of your protection money at work, good sir.
Hmm.
I mean, surely
You
you
are
can't forget about this Egypt over here who hasn't stopped talking.
you are from Miss Holt,
Literally.
I gather.
Yes.
He quickly waves a hand dismissively to the other man in the room to get him to leave, and he nods his head, bows, and promptly leaves the door past you. As the rest of the group, well, does Carrick want to enter the room? Everybody else is walking in behind Barrick.
Yes, let's go in.
Okay, so you've all entered the room. This kind of tall, lanky man is sitting behind a desk. He's got a very well groomed, kind of You know, like the stereotypical like musketeer mustache and goatee. He's got that.
Yes.
That's like the facial hair he's got, and it's
A
very well
man,
groomed and
a man with a fine moustache.
and almost kind of shimmering and shining from some sort of like oil he's like put in it. And he's like sitting like bolt upright, perfect posture, with a very regal look as he's sitting there looking at you all. He just scans over you. So you are the four they are sending to deal with my unfortunate circumstance.
Yes. Speaking of unfortunate, unfortunate circumstances, we're quite light on details. So the quicker you inform us what's happening, the sooner we can get to work.
You can see a slight bit of irritance in his eyes, but he dismisses it. Well, if any of you are light of stomach, I advise you go home now, because this is a very, very grim matter, only for the hardier folk.
Oh,
There is there
Callie
is
here's a
there is no
hard-blooded
there
Kelly.
is no shame in stepping down from your assignment and leaving now. I will hold against none of you.
We
The
all know the risks. We wouldn't be here otherwise.
I don't think you quite know the risks just yet, my boy. But I will enlighten you all. So for the past few days, our workers that have been going out to inspect which trees need to be cut and where new trees must be planted have been going missing. And whenever their bodies are found the day after, or 2 days after, they're found in quite a peculiar state. A very gruesome state. The bodies are intact. However, there are puncture wounds through the chests where their hearts and their hearts alone have been extracted. And there's not another mark on the bodies themselves.
what the fuck eats hearts?
So we are in quite a worried state. When we sent word to the guild, we had not yet found out this information. We had only known that our workers were going missing, and by the time we had found this information, our courier is still currently on the way to the rendezvous point to meet up with your superiors to inform them of the increased stakes. Though I suppose you are what is here now, and that is what I will have to work with. So, I have received reports from a couple of our miners that they have spotted strange shapes in the sky, and I believe this is no more than mere poppycock, formed from their superstitions about wild and mystical beasts coming down to eat the hearts of the wicked.
What I don't know about any mountain cats that extract man's hearts and don't do anything else with the body.
Precisely. I think somebody in this town has a personal vendetta against me, and they're trying to scare me out of my business, but I will not have it. I say, I be damned, I will not leave this lumberyard, and I will not leave my business that my family have run for generations. It is my
Is-
birth-given right.
Is there anyone
rich
that
is
would
this
come to
company?
mind?
That damn lord, Mr. Lord Sir Emmanuel Bell. Oh, he is a troublemaker, that one. Trying to take over all the lands for that blasted king.
Yeah, an ambitious man.
He will not have my lands, and if this is him trying to intimidate me out of them, by gosh, I will not back down. I will send threats of my own if I have to.
Let's not get too hasty straight away. We'll need to investigate one of the bodies. I'll also need a man to show us where they were found.
There is no pattern. We've found them all over. Some just outside the lumberyard itself by maybe only
Any
about 100
particular
feet.
time of day,
We have no clue.
day
We
or
just
night?
we just find them the next morning after they went out and were lost.
Interesting.
This started out as a mere missing persons issue. However, it's become a lot more dire in the last few days. We need this issue resolved now. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. My workers are too afraid to walk out of this lumberyard into the forest for fear of having their hearts ripped out. And I need my business to keep running.
Well, I suppose we'll get to it then.
Yes, you better, and in a timely manner. I expect by the morning you to have left into the woods in search of whatever you can find to sort this mess out. And then when you find something, either report to me or report to the quartermaster, the gentleman I was speaking with before you so rudely interrupted our discussion.
Very good. Right, men and lady. Let's get to work.
Very good, very good. Be on your way. You are dismissed. He kind of does a little shimmy action with his hands, kind of gesturing you towards the door to get out and get to work. As everyone steps out, you see Talia has been restraining herself to hold in her talking this entire time. Matthias wasn't hardly paying attention, and the quartermaster has been waiting outside and has now re-entered to resume discussions with Mr. Hansen. What would you like to do first? Now that you're outside.
What a pompous prick. He does have a stick up his ass.
And then Tally says "Oh, don't let him hear you say that. Might get hung. I don't want to see anybody hang. That's no fun. Matthias almost hung once. That wasn't fun at all.
I'm sure you could shoot the rope with one of your arrows, Talia.
Oh, of course I could. I'm just so great with my bow. It wouldn't even be a challenge.
Any thoughts on what this could be, anyone?
Roll some nature checks. I don't think you've done a nature check yet.
No, we have not, and I have a -2 for it, so this
Oh.
is not probably going to be very promising. Well, it's actually not too bad.
So, the two of you have never heard of any sort of creature that does anything like this. It sounds like something from a made-up legend. And both Matthias and Talia share the same point of view. Matthias is just more like, it's probably just some hoax. I'm not gonna believe shit until I see a body.
Well, is there anything else that we want to do before the morning, and then set out? Cause
No, we're setting out now. Like, I
we're
mean,
going now.
if we were going to set out, it would be setting out now. The guy said that he wants this, done.
Oh yeah. Shit.
Yeah, he wants it done, and he wants it done
I mean,
now. As
I mean,
quick
I
as
haven't
possible.
even, I haven't even slept, so
This guy has high expectations.
might have to rest, for a couple hours.
what time of night is it?
It isn't sunset yet, but it's getting
Not
there.
really.
Well, what if we rest for about 6 hours and then on we go?
Like wait until it's like good and dark.
Well,
Yeah.
very, very before even first light, just before first light, probably. That's, he did say be away by the morning, so if we're away before first light, that's objective completed, is it not?
I suppose.
It's always
so
good to rest as well.
It is good to rest, surely.
We'll sleep.
There are like lodgings for the workers that you would be able to stay in for free because you're carrying out a
Let's
business
go
for 'em.
there.
Yeah.
And
we'll
you
stay.
would be supplied with a not a great meal, but it's food, so you're not
Okay.
gonna starve.
It's warmish.
Yeah, it fills your stomach. It doesn't feel great when it gets in there, and it doesn't feel great as you're eating it, but it's food.
Doesn't feel good
And
in the
the
way out
second I
either.
feel on the way out, yep.
Most likely.